In this video, I'm going to show you a brief overview of the Netsapiens platform, as well as a brief look at some of the features that you have access to. When you first log in, you're going to be greeted by the home screen, and on the home screen you have a few different objects. You have the call graph, which shows active calls on your platform. You have the statistics on the right hand side, which shows you some useful statistics about your users, and you have a quick launch option which allows you to jump into one of your users very quickly. We also have along the top a few navigation options that allow you to go to various different parts of the platform. You have domains, which brings you to a list of all of your end users. You have inventory, which shows you a list of your phone numbers. You have phones, which shows you a list of all of your hardware. You have call history, which lets you see a history of all the calls being placed amongst all of your users, as well as export CDRs. And lastly, we have configs, which allows you to change UI configs, which allows you to hide and show various features and objects within the platform. On top of these, you also have this contacts box in the bottom right. This gives you a list of all of your own contacts. Whatever user you're logged in as will show the contacts available to them, as well as initiate calls, messages and video calls. Along the top we have the apps button, which gives you a list of all the apps available to you. And also we have the profile button, which allows you to go into your own user to change your own settings, such as this. And this will bring up more options based on your own user. And also an option to see any messages or voicemail messages that you have on your user. I'm going to jump into the domains tab, and like I said before, this is a list of all of your end customers. In here you can see information such as their name, active calls, external calls, as well as how many users are configured on these domains. I'm going to jump into a domain by clicking on the Manage button. As you can see, the user interface has changed. And in here, this is what's known as the domain view. You can see, again, a home screen which gives you graphs and statistics about the domain that you're on, and more buttons along the top to navigate to the various features available to you within this domain. Users is where you can see users, and these are individual people or devices within your platform. Each user has an extension number, as well as a department of the site and a scope. You can add ring groups through here. You can view and edit shared contacts, which are contacts that are shared between all of the users on the platform. And you can show different tabs along the top. And you can import and export users and also add new ones. Next I want to talk about is conferences. These are audio conferences that allow you to dial in and create group calls. They are audio only. To do video calls, you have the Meetings app on the app drop down list. Auto attendants, which are automated receptionists that allow you to route calls based on the button that's pressed. Call queues, which allow you to have hunt groups that act as a queue in that callers coming in will queue up. We have time frames, which allow you to create custom time data objects that you can apply to other parts of the platform to allow you to route calls at different times of the day. We have the music on hold feature that allows you to change the music on hold for the entire domain, but also you can also pick a user or a site or a queue to change the music on hold for that individual feature. And just like the global view, we have the inventory for all the numbers and the phones for all the phones, and the call history for call history, and these three things are limited to this domain rather than the entire platform. One thing I didn't mention yet is the Insights button, and this is the call reporting feature within the Netsapiens platform that allows you to generate reports about your users and your calls, and you can drill down into to get a lot of granular information about your calls. One last thing is also the profile view. I mentioned this in brief earlier, however, by selecting your name in the top right and clicking My Account, you can see the profile view. It's also worth mentioning that any users that are already basic users, when they log in, they will only have access to the profile view. And in here, you can do various different things, such as view your voicemail messages, view and edit your own personal contacts, view any answering rules, change your own personal timeframes, add your own phones and see your own phones, edit your own music on hold, and also see your own personal call history.